It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, you're lucky. You're lucky that you found me today. It's a Friday. We're celebrating the end of yet another work week, and I'm making it a Masterpiece Friday. And boy, do I have a masterpiece for all of you. We're taking a look at Tarkus from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It was relatively recently that I was reminded that it's been over 4 years since I have listened to Tarkus here on the channel. It was back in May of 2021. I heard this prog rock masterpiece for the very first time, and I had an embedded musical score that helped me figure out what the hell was going on with this piece. And it's a piece that I very much remember enjoying, and I decided, I want to take another look at this piece. And we do have some precedents for this on the channel. It's not the first time that I've done this. Last summer, we featured a little series, actually on Fridays, where we went back to some of our favorite prog rock epics and heard alternate versions of some of those songs. I heard a live version of Close to the Edge from Yes. I heard an alternate live version of 2112 from Rush. I heard Supper's Ready from Genesis, great live version of that one. And we heard Octavarium by Dream Theater, another great live version of that one. So today, my friends, we're listening to the live recording of Tarkus by ELP that was included on their second live album, which is called Welcome Back My Friends. It was released in August of 1974, and I actually have this triple album hanging out right back here. It's quite awesome, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to this piece with y'all today. As we remember, Tarkus was originally released as the title track from the band's second album that was released in June of 1971. And that track takes up the entire first side of that album at about 21 minutes in duration. By the way, I still haven't heard side 2 of that particular album. I'll get to that before too long, y'all. But for today, we're listening to Tarkus. It was recorded live in February of 1974 at a concert in Anaheim, California. At the time, the band was supporting brain salad surgery. That particular album, hence the name Welcome Back My Friends as the name of this live album. That comes from their Carn Evil 9 piece, right? So also remember that Tarkus, this is, I don't even know if you want to call it sci-fi, but it's definitely fantastical, y'all. Tarkus is an armadillo tank. And the song takes us through the story of its birth, through several skirmishes and fights with other creatures, and its ultimate, spoiler alert, y'all, its ultimate demise and rebirth. And I'm really looking forward to it, as I said. In this live version, the piece is extended to over 27 minutes in duration, so it's a full 6 or 7 minutes longer than what we heard on the studio version. Can't wait. So we've got Keith Emerson on a whole bunch of keyboards. Greg Lake is on vocals, on the bass, and on some guitars. And Carl Palmer is on the drums and percussion. All right, y'all, strap in. It's a long one, but it's going to be quite an adventure. Let's take a look at Tarkus performed live in 1974 by Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Here we go. Did you hear him count it off? How could you forget this, right? I don't remember a ton of the rest of the piece, but Eruption, this first part, how can you forget? going faster. There's the gong. Faster than I even remember. And remember that a lot of the voicings are in fourths. Without a score, y'all, there's virtually no shot that I'll have at trying to figure out harmonically what the hell Keith Emerson is doing. It's just too fast. Section 2. Stones of Years.
Have the days made you so unwise? Realize you are.
I'm hearing a descending
to the winds of
bass line, not anymore. Now it's going up.
How the waters run, taste of wine. How can you know where you've been in time? You're gonna see the sign and realize your sin.
Okay. Down the minor scale to the 5, then back. I think that's in C. Yeah, so it strikes me as a solo section done over this repetition progression. C minor, down to B flat, down to A flat, to 5, 1, D, G, C, right? That's where I think we can expect this piece to actually be lengthened in the solos that they take. They may take more time with their solos in this live setting. And the tempo just slides ever so gently back into this. That's a neat effect. Messing with the stereo field. I think we're getting into Iconoclast. Section 3. Battle. Iconoclast is a pterodactyl crossed with a war airplane. I would definitely tune into Monday Night Raw to check that out. That's so damn fast. It's back to that eruption idea, right? Different section, sounds like.
The preacher said a prayer, save every single hair.
Part 4, Mass.
He's dead. The minister of hate, just your right to make to despair. Who cared? The weaver in the web that he made. A pilgrim wandered in, committing every sin that he could. So good, the cotton of the grief was
Set in the belief he'd be saved from the grave.
The weaver in the web that he made.
The weaver in the web that he made. That's flat 6, flat 7 to 1, whatever that was. Carl back there is just making this groove. It's an amazing feat. Definitely a battle, and they've got laser guns. Tarkus is using the Force.
Pilgrim wandered in, committing every sin that he could. So good, the cotton of grief was set him to believe he'd be saved from the grave, the weaver in the web that he made. The bishop rings a bell, a globe of darkness run across the ground.
What's up, my step?
Without a sound, silent choir sing, in their silence legion its sound. Harmonic crown, weaver in the web that he made.
Okay. I believe we're moving into part 5. Manticore. I'm absolutely astounded by the technical mastery of Keith Emerson. Not only are his musical ideas just so interesting, but his facility on his instrument, how accurate he is at that speed. Absolutely incredible. So he's fighting Manticore. And he's not going to win. Is this his downfall? Okay. Battlefield, Part 6. And this section was written by Greg Lake.
Talk of freedom, starving children call. Are you deaf when
Definitely
you
hear the seasons
call?
A half step. Down a half step. One. Get it, Greg. What a great vocalist. Up by half step again. Down by half step. So similar to what we heard before. Hey, check it out, a guitar. Greg's gonna play. And it's just cool how they're messing with the stereo mix of this. Gives it a bit of an added dimension. Notice while Greg's playing guitar, Keith's got to play a little bit of low end on the organ to give us that bass sound. Since there's only 3 of them, right?
Every blade is sharp, the arrows fly. Where the victims of your armies lie.
Victims of your armies lie.
Where the blades of grass and arrows rain, then there'll be very little sorrow.
Rest in peace, Tarkus.
Very little pain.
Yeah.
Confusion will be my epitaph. as I cry. A cracked and broken heart. If we make it, we can all sit back and laugh.
I don't have these words in the lyrics. It will be my epitaph. Is that Epitaph from King Crimson? That's from In the Court of the Crimson King. That was sneaky. So a little coda before we get to AquaTarkus. This is going to be the rebirth. As the amphibious version. I told you it was going to be a journey, right? Carl's just a machine back there. That was righteous. We're doing the dance, right? Gotta help Tarkus be reincarnated. Not quite the right time, Doug. Where are they going? I think they land in F. The original AquaTarkus section was about 4 minutes. And in just this section, they're expanding it to about 10. They just don't want to leave the stage. This sounds to me like they've landed on a chord and Keith's just improvising on that one chord. Maybe it's worked out. But it sounds improvisation. forts. Keith loves his forts. We're used to chords being stacked in thirds. And the interval of a fourth, although it's perfect, the ones that he's using, being halfway between a third and a fifth, are normally thought of as dissonances, and you stack a chord on a couple of fourths. It's hard to tell where the root is and even what's going on. It's a whole different way of writing. And it opens up a lot of really evocative sounds. And they're still on that same chord. We're really trying now. Still back and forth in the stereo mix. This has been going on so long. My curiosity is going to be in what's their cue to get back to something that they've planned to play? What are they listening for? Who's going to give the cue? It's like the synthesizers are moving around the stage. It's over here. Building to something. Likes those portamentos up to that high octave, doesn't it? I remember hearing that in Buckingham, right? Something's got to burst, right? Really building up the tension. Back to Eruption, and this is the rebirth, right? no idea where they finished up. Absolutely one of the more impressive performances I've ever heard. How did those guys do that? That was non-stop action for 27 minutes, y'all. Unbelievable. You know, it's one thing to hear these older prog rock epics and think, man, they must have spent a lot of time building that in the studio, right? You know, they get some sounds here, they get some sounds there, they record this, they record that, they try it a couple of times, and they get this okay, now we're going to get this section out, and we splice it all together. You know, you do the studio cut, and then they come out and they're like, watch this, and just play the thing down. It's inspiring. It really, really is. And it's been way too long since I've heard these guys just holding court, y'all. If that was a King Crimson quote that got put in there, that's really cool. I remember that Greg Lake sang on that first recording. Maybe even played his bass on that Epitaph recording. Maybe that's how that connection got made. Yeah. Just incredible, friends. I found an interview from back in 1971 with Greg Lake, and he said about this song that at its core, it's about the futility of conflict, the futility of war. And they express it in this context in terms of soldiers and war, right? Fighting. But he says it's broader than that. The words are about revolution. The revolution that's gone, that has happened. Where has it got anybody? Nowhere, he says. He then added that the song concerns the hypocrisy of it all. And they're using a bit of their wit and their humanity and their own point of view to write a piece that speaks to their time in history. You know, the war is raging in Vietnam. It's been raging. There's been the Korean conflict. There's been this social revolution. All of this upheaval and change throughout the 60s. You get into the beginning part of the 1970s, and they're like, what are we up to now? What's it all for? What have we learned? You know, we shouldn't keep doing all that stuff. We should do new stuff and learn from our past mistakes. And they write about this unbeatable, basically, monstrosity of a creation. The Tarkus, an armadillo tank. Try to beat that. And ends up, anybody's beatable. Excuse me. Anybody's beatable. And yet, Tarkus comes back as AquaTarkus. In not too long, y'all, I'll get back to the original album and hear all of side 2. And I can then say that I've heard all of that album. And I'll do that probably on a Friday too. It'll be really fun. I'll go back to the studio version for that. But it was just really almost, it was wonderful, but just a real treat for me to be able to come back to this song. So for me, I'm just learning these, y'all. You got to remember, I'm just learning these. Y'all have heard these songs time after time after time for decades, many of y'all. I've only heard Tarkus a few times, and it's been years since I have heard it. So a lot of this coming back, some of it is so good that I remember it. But some of it was just, oh yeah, that's what they're up to. It's just incredible. Incredible music. And all of y'all that are ELP fans, I know why. I know why you are. I mean, what other trio could do that? Absolutely astounding. They're all world-class musicians on their instrument. Greg Lake's vocals are better than 95% of the vocals that you hear. His bass playing is wonderful. Carl is a monster on the keys, and I dare anybody to find a keyboard player that that can hold court with Keith Emerson. You know, my friend Rachel Flowers is one of the people that is astoundingly talented that I've seen be able to take on some of ELP. You know, I know Jordan Rudis, and I know that he's done covers of ELP. So we have some great keyboard players that are following in this tradition. But Keith Emerson, what an amazing talent and flair for performing he had. And with Carl and with Greg, man, it would have been absolutely astounding to see them play. To see them play live, especially in this era. Can you imagine a tour that's got Tarkus and music from Brain Salad Surgery on the same album, or on the same in the same concert? Highlight of your life, right? So it's great that I have this triple album. I can go back and listen to this whenever I want and put the headphones on, put it right here on the turntable, and enjoy it myself. And I'm glad that y'all have tuned in today to hear it with me anew. It's been a wonderful experience, and I hope that it's brightened your Friday. I know that it's brightened mine quite a bit, and I'm ready to go and party this weekend with my newfound energy. ELP's lifting me up. So thanks y'all for being with me this week. Every time that you pop in, I really appreciate you watching the videos and following along on my journey here. And I really do appreciate all of the support and the community that has popped up here on the Daily Doug. Thank you very much for being with me. That is all for me today and this week. And we will see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Dog. Welcome to the Daily Dog. The Daily